In 1971, the United States ran out of gold. Not literally, but financially. The global monetary system that had governed the world since World War II collapsed in a single presidential announcement. And what was that? It was the Nixon shock. And within 3 years, something quietly replaced it. Not gold, not silver, but oil. This is the story of the petrodollar, how energy markets became the backbone of global dollar demand, and how one diplomatic pivot reshaped modern finance. Welcome back to Bear Economics. Thank you for watching. And if you'd be so kind, please give me a like and subscribe, and let's get right into it. After World War II, the global monetary order was built at Bretton Woods conference. I've done a separate video on that. If you'd like to go back and watch that, I encourage you. So under that system, the US dollar was convertible into gold, and then other major currencies were pegged to the dollar. Gold was that anchor of global trust. Essentially, the dollar was as good as gold. So by the late 1960s, the United States was spending heavily on domestic programs and on the Vietnam War. So foreign governments began redeeming dollars for gold. Naturally, gold reserves fell, and then the pressure started mounting. So on August 15th, 1971, President Richard Nixon went on television. He suspended dollar convertibility into gold. And this is when the dollar became pure fiat. So the next question was an existential one. If the dollar was no longer backed by gold, then what the hell would back it? Without a backing, it's just a piece of paper. It has no tie, nothing to tie it to reality. The answer would arrive through crisis. In October 1973, during the Yom Kippur War, members of OPEC imposed an oil embargo against nations supporting Israel. So oil prices quadrupled. Energy shortages hit the West, gas lines started to form, and the global economy reeled. But hidden inside this crisis was an opportunity. Oil had just become the most strategically important commodity in the world. Whoever controlled its pricing structure would influence global finance. So in 1974, the United States and Saudi Arabia entered into a strategic alignment. The arrangement was simple, though not formally labeled at the time. Saudi Arabia would price oil exclusively in US dollars. And in return, the US would provide a few things: military protection, security guarantees, weapon systems, strategic cooperation. Other OPEC members followed. So oil, the lifeblood of civilization, would now be transacted in dollars. So here's the mechanism. First step, a country needs oil. Step 2, oil is priced in dollars. Step 3, that country must obtain dollars to buy oil. This creates constant global demand for the US currency. Now step 4, oil exporters accumulate massive dollar reserves. And what do they do with these dollars? They recycle them into US Treasury bonds, Western banks, dollar-denominated assets. This process became known as petrodollar cycling. Oil reserves flowed back into the US's financial system. Deficits could then be financed, and debt could expand. The dollar maintained dominance even without gold. Oil replaced bullion as the structural support of the system. As global trade expanded, dollar pricing deepened. US Treasury markets became the deepest and most liquid in the world. Energy security and military presence reinforced confidence. Shipping lanes were protected. Alliances expanded. The system became self-sustaining. Oil demanded dollars. Dollars financed debt. Debt funded defense. And defense secured oil routes. The circle closed. One big circle. In the 2000s and beyond, some nations explored alternatives. Euro-denominated oil trades, bilateral currency swaps, yuan energy-settled contracts, yuan-settled energy contracts. Countries like Russia and China have pushed diversification strategies. Sanction policies accelerated these experimentations. Yet, despite headlines, the dollar remained dominant. Why? Because the monetary system isn't just about politics. They are about liquidity, trust, infrastructure, and market depth. Replacing the dollar requires replacing all of that, which is extraordinarily difficult. These things take a lot of time. The petrodollar allowed the United States to run persistent trade deficits, finance government debt to scale, maintain global monetary influence, and project geopolitical power. It didn't create US dominance, it just reinforced it. Oil ensured dollar demand ensured borrowing capacity, and borrowing capacity ensured policy flexibility. The gold standard required metal. Petrodollar required energy dependence. This system is still evolving. Energy markets are shifting. Digital currencies are emerging, geo blocks are forming, but transitions in monetary systems are slow. Gold dominance lasted centuries. Dollar dominance is barely 80 years old. The petrodollar wasn't a single treaty, it was an ecosystem born from crisis, sustained by trade and reinforced by geopolitics. And ecosystems don't just disappear overnight, they adapt. In 1971, gold stopped backing the dollar. By 1974, oil started demanding it. That shift reshaped global finance, not through proclamation, but through incentives. And if you want to understand the future of money, watch energy markets. Because in the modern world, money doesn't just follow power, it follows oil. Thank you for watching Bear Economics. If you found some value in this video, please just like, drop a comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.